You've reached Linda's Dog Obedience School. Please leave a message at the tone. Hi, guys. It's me, Linda. How are things at the office? You keeping busy? Duke, if I can tear you away from that project you're working on, I'd like you to tend to the mail. As for the rest of you, please straighten up the office. Remember, we've got that training seminar this afternoon. See you later.
To stay on top, you've got to stay in touch. So call and check in. It's a good business practice, no matter what business you practice.
At Osco, we know how much you care about your pictures.
Count on people who care. Count on people who care. Helping people is what we do. We're dedicated to serving you at Osco. You can count on people who care.
Winnetka residents of all faiths gather today to mourn the tragic rampage of Lori Dan one last time and then get on with their lives. About 250 people attended a service at the Temple Jeremiah in Northfield, including the family of 8-year-old Nicholas Corwin, who died in Dan's shooting spree at the Hubbard Woods School. Rabbi Robert Schriedman declared an end to the year-long period of mourning and a return to customary pursuits. Dan's bizarre attack occurred 1 year and 1 day ago.
More than 2 years ago, a baby girl from the city's south side captured nationwide attention as she fought her way through 4 liver transplant operations. Today, Megan LaRocco celebrated her 3rd birthday, looking every bit the happy, healthy child. But for her family, there are constant reminders of the ordeal. She's a bouncy, bright, pretty little girl who just happens to have had 4 liver transplants. Megan beat the odds.
When she was, they only gave her a 20% chance to live. You know, I made a lot of promises, and I said that if Megan's okay, I'd make her a little shrine in the yard.
The shrine is almost done. A little more paint, statue, and a lot of answered prayers ever since the operations back in November and December of 1986. Now there is food. There are presents. But there is also the ever-present need for anti-rejection medicine at $250 every month. A big load for a father who lost his job last year.
I'm trying to start my own cement company, and it's kind of hard to get off the ground right now. And then, you know, the medical bills and the medication.
But there is also the smile of a little girl to ease the tension.
The further you get away from it, the more confident you feel. But this is her first year that I feel she really understands. She kept saying, birthday coming. No, it's here.
Frank LaRocco says the family still receives some donations, which are, needless to say, very much appreciated. If you would like to help, a fund for Megan's medical bills is at the Capital Bank and Trust Company. That's at 4801 West Fullerton Avenue in Chicago. The zip code there is 60639.
And there was not a winner in last night's lotto drawing, so next week the pot will start at $21 million. This is the 2nd consecutive rollover for the lotto jackpot. Getting up there again.
About as beautiful as the weather today. A good ending to the weekend.
That's right. Jim Ramsey is going to join us now and tell us if that trend will continue. Jim?
I think we'll see temperatures this week, Bob, even warmer than today's, but we may also see a little rain tomorrow. We'll tell you all about it in just a moment. Stay with us.
Everybody's talking about Oat Bran, but nobody said a word about taste until now. Introducing Dunkin' Donuts Oat Bran Muffins. Taste worth talking about.
Mitsubishi Galant. Mitsubishi Mirage. Mitsubishi got the awards. You get the rewards. You could save up to $1,000 in factory-to-dealer incentives on Galant, Mirage, and other models. Claim your reward today, only at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
Just this much Cortaid heals more kinds of itches and rashes than all of these. Because Cortaid has a clinically proven healing medicine they don't have. That's why Cortaid is the Itch Aid.
How strong is Extra Strength Tums EX? Heartburn strikes, Tums strikes back. Heartburn's gone that fast. Tums EX, twice as strong, twice as fast as regular Rolaids.
Tonight's weather segment is brought to you by Montgomery Ward, the brand name savings store.
Know what? Montgomery Ward just keeps on name dropping. Maytag, GE, Lazy Boy. I'm talking your favorite brand names at low prices every day, like Gitano, Michelin, Sony.
And if you find a lower advertised sale price anywhere, we'll match it. Why? Because we want your business.
You got it.
Montgomery Ward, brand name savings store.
Even with all you spend to keep your home beautiful, you may be overlooking something. Termites, hiding just beneath the surface, destroying your home from the inside out. Call Orkin.
You know, for about the price these people were having to pay to fix this one door frame, we can protect your whole house.
And we guarantee that protection for as long as you own your home.
Call number 1. For termites, we just might be all the protection you'll ever need.
At Osco, we know how much you care about your pictures.
Count on people who care. Count on people who care. Helping people is what we do. We're dedicated to serving you at Osco. You can count on people who care.
For a while this afternoon, we had cloudy skies over Chicago, but if you looked outside lately and live on the north side, it's clear. On the south side, it's still cloudy. That could be a portent of something to come tomorrow with the possibility of storms in the forecast. Presently 69 degrees in Chicago, humidity 42%. The humidity is at 42%. We just gave you that. Barometric pressure rising, the winds out of the southwest, 8 miles an hour. This is a Midwest enhanced satellite picture. Big storm down to our south and west, but as you notice closely, it appears to be drifting too far to our south to provide us with any moisture. We may, however, see a little bit of sprinkles and maybe some light showers just to the south of Chicago in the remaining hours tonight. High temperatures across the area, 80 at O'Hare, 76 on the lakefront, and 82 at Midway. Here's the national radar picture. Severe weather watches in effect for portions of Nebraska, South Dakota, down around western Kansas, and also here in extreme northern Arkansas because of that big storm we just showed you on the radar. Most of the precipitation so far has been falling through Missouri over the past hour or two. National satellite picture shows the development of that storm coming literally out of nowhere, blowing up over western Nebraska and pushing to the east and just south of us. Rainfall potential from that big storm could see up to 2 inches along the Ohio Valley area and the border between Indiana and Kentucky. About 1 inch, though, is expected well to our south throughout much of the rest of the Ohio Valley. For the Chicago area, less than a quarter inch expected tomorrow. High temperatures for tomorrow. Because of the cloudiness, we are not expecting temperatures to rise as warm as today, up to 80. We should see temperatures, in fact, in the low 70s. Now, there are some 80-degree temperatures being reported today and will be tomorrow over some of the central and northern plains. That will constitute a wedge of warm air that will eventually push its way into Chicago, providing us with some pretty warm temperatures by the end of the week. Three-dimensional picture showing that big storm as it's exploding literally over southern Illinois and portions of Arkansas and Missouri. Much needed rain for some of those areas. 5-day high temperature forecast tomorrow, again with the clouds, a little chillier than today, but warming up close to 80 by Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, temperatures well into the 80s, but on Friday we're expecting another frontal system to drop temperatures once again. 5-day low temperature forecast, 54 after midnight tonight. In fact, it should be in the 50s on through Wednesday. Then overnight low temperatures not to get much below 60 degrees or so for the balance of the week. Our forecasts for tonight: partly cloudy skies, few clouds around, but nothing important. Low temperature 52 to 56. South winds expected to continue. Tomorrow, a chance of some thunderstorms, especially to the south of the Chicago area. High temperature 71 to 75. Southeast winds at 8 to 15. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy. The rain should end. Low temperature 50 to 54. On Tuesday, looks like a beautiful day, a lot of sunshine, temperatures upper 70s or low 80s. For Wednesday and Thursday, another approaching storm system could bring some thunderstorms those 2 days, but Friday looks gorgeous, mostly sunny skies. Daytime high temperature again in the low 70s. We need more rain than we're getting, but there is some cause for hope.
Well, that's great, Jim.
Good.
Okay. And up next, we'll tell you why thousands are taste testing in a Chicago convention hall. So stay with us.
To get that perfect lawn this summer, how much are you willing to risk? This year, thousands of Chicagoans will employ lawn care services who use pesticides that could be harmful. How dangerous are these chemicals? How responsible are the lawn services? And how can we protect ourselves from a chemically treated lawn? This is Pat Harvey. Join me for a special two-part report. Is your lawn toxic green on tonight and tomorrow's 9 o'clock news and Monday and Tuesday's midday news?
Hi. Hi. Hey, did you ask your mom? About what? Tonight. Oh, no. Mom? Oh, hi, honey. Can I eat dinner at Ginny's house, please?
Okay, but don't be late. It's a school night.
Oh, I won't. Bye.
Isn't it nice to know that no matter where you are,
No problem.
with Illinois Bell, you're always as close as our next public phone. Illinois Bell, an Ameritech company.
When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. You go swing along to City Hall. When you're hot, you're hot.
Staying hot in Chicago isn't easy, unless your name happens to be Honda. We've remained first in import owner loyalty 12 years running. And now we've got more new cars than ever, which, needless to say, has our dealers very hot to deal.
When you're hot, you're hot. You forgot the pita stuff!
Don't forget the pita stuffs, the sandwich made with fluffy handmade pita bread.
International food and drink, the main course on the menu of the National Restaurant Hotel Motel Show being held here in Chicago. Joni Lum reports the exhibit is seasoned with some new food ideas.
Their business.
Your best banana.
Plain banana, sir, the chocolate banana swirl. But there's more to it than eating for 4 straight days. Chefs from all over the world competed in an ice carving contest.
You want to be real careful about not to break whatever you're trying to do, because if you do, that costs you a lot of time. So you got to be real careful, yet work as fast as you possibly can.
And walk as fast as you can if you want to see every booth.
So we can see what actually competing products from other countries do against our own. And invariably, if there's a good product or something better than what we're making, and a lot of times there is, we make an effort to specify it and bring it in the United States.
Well, I've mainly been looking at equipment, so I've been looking at the new innovations in equipment, new technology, different ways of processing food.
But past the food processors, you can't help but stumble on the delicacies, chefs on stage.
So what we're serving here is bistecca florentina.
While a chicken franchise steals the show with its gargantuan boat. They say it lures in the big ones.
Every time I come to Chicago, I get a new idea or two, and especially not just in the show, but going on around town. The restaurants here are really, I think, very advanced.
Seems fitting that the show would be held in Chicago, a city that knows its food. But the food industry now includes other inventions that can help restaurants appeal to their customers. A moment in the spotlight, for instance.
I think everyone dreams of being a rock star at some point in your life.
And everyone was once a child. This product is made in Chicago.
We have restaurants that are virtually selling hundreds of these.
But only 200 could get in to see the keynote speaker, former President Ronald Reagan. No cameras allowed. The Restaurant Hotel Motel Show continues through Tuesday. Joni Lum, WGN News.
And up next, the Bulls' John Paxson and White Sox Steve Lyons joins Dan Rowan for an in-depth look at this weekend's sports action.
Stay with us now for instant replay.
Mitsubishi Galant. Mitsubishi Mirage. Mitsubishi got the awards. You get the rewards. You could save up to $1,000 in factory-to-dealer incentives on Galant, Mirage, and other models. Claim your reward today, only at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
You want to know what it's really like? Then drive it. Spend some time in here. The Mercedes-Benz 190E 2.6. It'll feel like nothing else you've ever driven. Then spend some time with your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You'll find out just how easy it is to own one. The 190E 2.6. Take a look at one now.
To protect the lives of firefighters, DuPont developed a remarkable fire-resistant fiber for their clothing called Nomex. But perhaps even more remarkable is how it protects those who never even wear it. At DuPont, we make the things that make a difference.
Look to Jewel for the most refreshing values. Got a thirst for savings? Stock up on Pepsi favorites. Get a 2-liter bottle for just $1.09. Start your day with Tropicana Pure Premium Orange Juice, only $2.49 a half gallon. Or try new Tropicana Twisters. A 48-ounce bottle is just $1.89. For the most refreshing values,
Taking a look at an old friend, Jewel.
In suburban Detroit today, the Bulls served a little notice on NBA experts who assumed Chicago's first conference championship appearance in 15 years would be a short run. At the Palace, against a Pistons team they hadn't been able to beat all season, the Bulls ripped away the home court advantage in this series with an opening game 94-88 victory. We'll detail with Bulls guard John Paxson all the ebbs and flows of a game that may have been the biggest NBA playoff surprise to date. All coming up tonight on Instant Replay.
This is Instant Replay with Dan Rowan. Your local Ford dealer is a participating advertiser of Instant Replay.
Good evening and welcome to Instant Replay. In the aftermath of today's Bulls-Pistons game, you may hear a lot of different explanations for what happened out there. The Pistons were rusty from not having played for a while. The Bulls finally had the odds catch up for them. But it really doesn't matter how it happened. All that matters is that the Bulls were able to beat the Pistons for the first time this season, a victory worth far more than all of Detroit's regular season wins put together. Michael Jordan and company now with some home court advantage to work with, but maybe more importantly, the knowledge that, yeah, they can handle those bad boys from the Motor City. 94-88, they handled them today at the Palace, and John Paxson is with us. Well, these guys had swaggered through the playoffs, as they always do, John, without a loss. 7 straight wins. You go up to their place, and all of a sudden, you're one up in the series. Unbelievable game today, and a lot of people didn't think you had a chance in this one.
No, they really didn't. Well, people haven't thought we've had a chance in either of the 2 previous series, and we just came out and we played real strong defensively. I think we talked in the locker room before the game about making them shoot outside shots, and looking at the stat sheet after the game, their 3 guards, Isaiah, Joe Dumars, and Vinnie Johnson, combined for 11 for 45, and you know, that's just a shade under 25%, so that's a big factor in the win itself.
Well, people will say that'll never happen again. Those 3 guys will never shoot that badly again, but it doesn't really make any difference because they did today.
They did, and you know, we played strong, we played hard, we withstood the rush that they knew they were going to, you know, come with in the end of the first half and the 3rd and 4th quarter, and made the big plays down the stretch when we needed to, made the big defensive stops.
Well, it's one of those NBA games where a team blows out to a big lead early and then had to hang on at the end. A great stand by the Bulls, and we've got some highlights to show you, a whole bunch of them, as a matter of fact, beginning with Michael Jordan in the first quarter. And, man, what a start for you guys. 24-10 out here on the break when Michael hits a 3-pointer, and it was a lead as big as 24 in the first half.
Well, these are the kind of things you can get when you make a team shoot jump shots and get some rebounds. You can beat them down the floor and get open jumpers and layups.
You guys had to shoot a lot of jumpers yourselves, but you were making them. And Corzine came off the bench today, and he was just fabulous.
Yeah, I was real happy for Dave because he's just one of those players that comes in and gives you a solid performance every night.
Well, you were up 16 after 1, and with the second unit in there, you guys just kept pouring it on. Here's your pass to Charles Davis for 2. It was 39-17 right there.
Well, again, it was just, you know, one of those things you get a nice outlet pass, and you start the break, and here we did it again.
I guess when you make them shoot jump shots and they're not on, and you guys are obviously on when Cartwright's tipping in shots like that, the rebounding patterns don't go quite as well either.
No, actually, I think we were out rebounded by 10 today, and they had 23 offensive rebounds. But again, we made the plays when we had to.
That was your buddy Lambert in a typical move, but Detroit came back a little bit, made it 50-34 at halftime, and then Michael actually didn't play all that well, at least offensively, in the middle 2 quarters, and you had to expect Detroit was going to come back. I thought that was a charge there, but it wasn't.
Yeah, and he made a great shot out of it. Yeah, Michael shot 10 for 29 today, and he's not going to have that many games like that, but that's a bonus for us, too. You know, we win a game where he shoots 30%.
Really? And Mr. Modest himself, Bill Lambert, after the 3-point play, that cut it to 4. But Michael got it going again late in the 3rd quarter. Got a shooter's bounce there, and it was 71-63. Detroit, though, with one more big run, you knew that was going to come. They got it off the offensive rebound right there with Rodman. They took the lead, 74-73, and it sure didn't look good right there.
Now, you could sense that they felt they had us because it's happened in the past where we've had them at somewhat of a disadvantage, and they've come back and won the game, but this time they didn't.
Good box out there. Scottie Pippen with a big basket. Scottie played very well in the 4th today, and, of course, Michael did, too. I think he had 10 out of his 32 in the 4th quarter, and it's a Bulls winner in Game 1.
Yeah, well, that's the time of the game Michael wants the ball. He said that, and he's that type of competitor, so we're obviously going to go to him quite a bit down the stretch.
Well, obviously it was a happy scene in that locker room after you broke a 9-game losing streak to the Detroit Pistons. Every win, it seems at this point, is gravy for the Bulls, and that's what Michael Jordan said when he talked after the ball game.
We're not even supposed to be this close, so the pressure's not on us. They got to continue to make plays to keep us from coming back, and you know, we really kept our poise when they went up 1 point, I think, and we came back, and I think someone hit a jump shot, and then we hit a 3, and then we just started to kick things back in gear again.
When they hit us with their surge and they came at us, we maintained our poise. I was really concerned about their defense, totally flustering us, but when you look up on the board and see 88 points, our defense really won the ball game for us today.
The key to tonight's game was not that we got the lead, but that when they made their charge, we were able to withstand it and hold our composure and turn it back turn the momentum around a little bit on them.
Well, the Bulls today were also looking for the #1 pick in the draft, owning the rights to New Jersey selection. We're going to have to get on Jerry Krause for some of these low picks. Number 6, when 7 was the worst the Bulls could have been, but with this draft being projected as pretty strong through 8 or 9 players, the Bulls ought to wind up with a solid player in their pick.
Well, we'll take a look at the entire situation, and we'll look at who's available, and there may be some movement above us, or maybe some movement below us. We're going to get a quality player. We know that. At 6, we're going to have no problem at all getting a quality basketball player. It's going to help our team in the next few years. And at 20, we think we're going to get a quality basketball player. So it's been a really good day with getting the 6th pick and winning a basketball game in Detroit.
By the way, the top 3 in that draft came down to San Antonio, the LA Clippers, and then Sacramento in that order. Kings general manager Greg Lukenbill said they're leaning toward Glenn Rice of Michigan, which might surprise a few people, Pax, but we expect him to go in the top 5, and that should leave the Bulls with a pretty good player down there.
Yeah, and we have options, too. With the 6th and 20th pick, Jerry Krause is known for doing some dealing, and he may try to trade up. You never know what he's going to do, but 6th pick, you're going to get a good player, and like you said, I don't know if Sacramento will take Glenn Rice. I mean, he's definitely a top 5 pick, but Sean Elliott would be a tough player to pass up.
Real quickly, back to you guys. You've had a very tough 2 series going into the Detroit series, games that came very close together. In fact, you had only 1 game in all the playoffs so far where you had more than 1 day's rest between games, but it doesn't seem to bother, and you said you'd just soon play it that way.
Well, you know, we're playing well, and sometimes when you have a layoff, you kind of mess up your rhythm, and you know, it happened to us earlier this year when we had some injuries. It did the same thing to us, but right now we're playing well, so you know, why not just keep playing? We seem to have some good results that way.
I'd say so. We'll go get them on Tuesday up in Detroit.
Give it our best shot again.
All right, John, thanks very much.
Hey, Dan.
Well, baseball today, we've had better days in Chicago. Toronto wrapped up a sweep of the White Sox out at Comiskey Park. Steve Lyons will be here to talk about the Sox weekend. And the Cubs lost 2 in Cincinnati, but they're still just a whisper away from first place in the National League East. We'll check out this Sunday in baseball when we come back in just a moment.
2 more runs will score for Cincinnati, and Davis is 4 for 4.
Where can you get a tough, fully equipped pickup for only $90.86 delivered? Your local Ford dealer, that's where. For only $90.86, Ford Ranger XLT comes equipped with power steering, power brakes, tinted glass, AM/FM stereo, sliding rear window, and a lot more. With up to $750 cash back, you'll drive away in a Ford Ranger XLT for only $90.86, or choose low 2.9% financing. That's $90.86 for a tough Ford Ranger, only at your local Ford dealer.
Budweiser and Bud Light are joining USA Today so you can vote for the All-Stars. Pick up an official All-Star fan ballot free wherever you buy Bud and Bud Light. Then enter the All-Star Pick-a-Pair Trivia Sweepstakes. Answers appear every day in USA Today, your #1 source for sports coverage. So look for this display and vote.
In Australia, 90% of the population lives near the beach, which is understandably encouraged finding ways to make life as easy as possible. Why, in Brisbane, they even went so far as to call an American company to help them take out the trash. Waste Management, who developed a citywide system of trash collection that makes things easier for everyone involved.
See you at the beach then, David?
No worries, girl. No worries.
Waste Management, helping the world dispose of its problems.
Well, we've made so much of the home court advantage in the Bulls playoff games this year. The home field doesn't seem to be doing the White Sox much good lately. Toronto beat them this afternoon at Comiskey Park by a score of 9-3. That comes after 9-3 and 11-1 losses to the Jays on Friday and Saturday. And it also comes after, Steve Lyons, a road trip where you guys were killing people. I don't know what happens when you come home, but things don't happen very well for you.
Yeah, the tables really got turned on us in this series. Toronto came in here and beat up on us like we had been beating up on other teams. And, you know, it's amazing because most teams do have a better record at home than they do on the road. But even after today's game, late in the 9th inning, I think Nancy Faust was playing on the road again with her Oregon. So we got a few games here against Baltimore, and then we do go back on the road up to Toronto. But if we swing the bats the way we did in Baltimore against Baltimore now coming in, we'll be fine.
We had a couple of pitching changes roster-wise made today after the game. I know that Jeff's trying to make some moves to help solidify that area of the game, and it hasn't been very good lately.
Right, we just haven't been getting the pitching, and we've had to go out and score 8 to 10 runs just to win a ball game. And you shouldn't have to put that much pressure on your offense, even though we were going out and getting, I think we averaged about 13 to 14 hits for about 10 days in a row. And that's outstanding, but when you're winning games 9-8 and 10-7, things like that, it's really tough when your pitching staff isn't holding up their end of the bargain.
We'll check out the highlights from today. There was one big hit for the White Sox today, and Carlos Martinez had that one. Unfortunately, it was about the only one of the day. 3rd inning, bases loaded. This one's going into the gap in right center field. John Cerruti pitched today, and he had a pretty good game for the Blue Jays.
He did. He threw a lot of slop up there today, but Carlos Martinez right there is a kid who's about 23 years old. Outstanding talent, and if he just plays within himself, he's going to be a good player for a lot of years to come.
We're talking about good players or guys who had good weekends. Nelson Liriano for the Jays, who wasn't hitting his hat size when he came in here.
Unbelievable. You know, anytime you go 9 for 11 in a series, we just couldn't get this guy out. And like you said, he was hitting about 250 when he came in, and he leaves here hitting about 320.
That's George Bell's 1,000th career hit. It was a home run in the 9th inning off Jose Segura, who had a very interesting week. That made it 7-3 in the 9th. And Ernie Whitt, I think, had 4 hits last night and came back with a 2-run homer in the 9th inning today. So kind of ugly out there this week.
It is. When guys like Witt and Fernandez hit home runs off of you, Witt's going to hit you maybe 15 a year, but Tony Fernandez is not going to hit that many, and he hit 2 over the weekend. And we can't have guys like that going out of the park on us.
So Jeff Bittiger and Jack Hardy are coming up. Patterson's going down. Segura's going back down after making about 4 trips between Chicago and Toronto this week.
Yeah, Segura came up for the Cubs game, then back down, then he got called up, and he had a couple bad outings, and now he's headed back down. But they're really trying to get something that'll work in our pitching staff, and hopefully we found it now. Jack Hardy has done a good job down in AAA. Jeff Bittiger is throwing, I think he's 6-1 with about a .078 ERA, so he's really done an outstanding job down there. So hopefully those guys can come up and do the job that they were doing down there.
And real quickly, let's talk about Terry Bevington a little bit, one of your coaches who is rumored to be in line for the Toronto managing job, and that would really be an upset, I think. Nobody really knows much about Terry.
Terry's really slid in the back door in this situation, I think, but he's a real intense type of guy, and I think that's what they're looking for, a young guy who wants to go out and make things happen for himself. And he's been over there for 2 interviews now, and that's talking to be, that's a real serious situation when they ask you back for another interview, and he was there from about 10:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon yesterday. So he's really into it, and we all wish him luck. We'd hate to lose him, but it's a great opportunity for him if he gets that job.
Okay, we wish you good luck, too. Go beat Baltimore this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to need it.
At home
all
this
right.
week. All right, Steve, thanks very much. And the Cubs, well, not much better luck for them in Cincinnati this afternoon. They had their 5-game winning streak snapped by the Reds over at Riverfront. Eric Davis, boy, that's not Eric Davis, but that is. He's been injured for a good stretch of this season, but looked pretty good today. An RBI single here off Mike Bilecki in the 4th made it 4-0. Bilecki was done after that. The Cubs came back with a couple of runs in the 6th inning. Dwight Smith into the right center field gap. This one scored Vance Law, who'd gotten a base hit in front of him. scored the first Cub run of the game. Smith then scored from third base after the triple and made it 4-2. But in the bottom of the sixth, Eric Davis again, his fourth hit of the day. A rope off the wall out there in right center field. Nobody could catch that one. Davis had 4 hits and 3 RBIs all day, and the Reds cool off the Cubs by a final score of 7-2 at Riverfront Stadium today. And on the scoreboard, it was San Francisco beating the Mets again, so the Cubs just a half game out, and St. Louis in 10 over Atlanta with 5 runs in the 10th inning. Also, Montreal beat LA, Philadelphia over San Diego, and Pittsburgh rolled up 17 against the Astros today. Back to the American League, the White Sox losers 9-3 to Toronto. It was Oakland over Boston. California beat Milwaukee 12-9. Cleveland shut out Baltimore. The Yankees over Seattle, and Minnesota beat Texas 6-1. Also, Detroit comes up a winner today, 4-2 over Kansas City. Very interesting afternoon on the golf courses today, with the first of the LPGA's major events decided in suburban Cincinnati. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, the Calgary Flames did a job on Montreal tonight, a 4th game equalizer for the Flames. And we'll have those highlights coming up.
This is a brand new $18,000 car. Put in a leading motor oil. This is an identical new car. Put in Mobil 1. Start them up and drive. Under extreme conditions, temperatures inside your engine can reach 570 degrees. Of course, Mobil 1 costs more. But then, under extreme conditions, look at what can happen to conventional motor oil. Mobil 1. Isn't your car worth the extra protection?
Low financing, cash back, they never seem to apply to the cars that I wanted. My Ford dealer changed all that with the Ford Probe GL. Gave me my choice of 2.9% financing or $500 cash back on Ford Probe. And what a hot car. Sleek styling, incredible performance, and options like a CD player with premium sound. Instead of spending over $20,000 on an import, my Ford dealer put me behind the wheel for about $10,400. 2.9 financing or $500 cash back on Ford Probe, only from the quality people with the quality products.
Discover the place where you'll always find more. It's Handy Andy, your home improvement superstore.
Save now on thousands of items store-wide. Save $7 on Dutch Boy Dirt Fighter flat house paint with 1-coat easy coverage and a 10-year warranty. Dutch Boy Dirt Fighter now just $10.99 a gallon. Save $9 on Dutch Boy's Best. Super Satin house paint now just $13.99 a gallon.
With Handy Andy, you've got it made.
Pain. Pulsing, throbbing pain. There is a wonder drug for pain. Doctors themselves take more than extra-strength Tylenol or Advil. More doctors take Bayer. For pain, Bayer is the wonder drug that works wonders.
Rich stain and tough polyurethane protection in one. Polyshade by Minwax. Get a beautiful finish in half the time. A finish to be proud of. Polyshades by Minwax.
Well, the Stanley Cup Finals are back even tonight after the Calgary Flames jumped on Montreal in Montreal for a 4-2 victory. The Forum can be an intimidating building, but the Flames have not exactly been awestruck by it. They cracked open, I should say, scoreless game, second period. Doug Gilmour right there to pick off the pass and take it in on Patrick Roy. And the Flames take a 1-0 lead at 11:56 of the second. And with just over a minute to play in that period, Calgary on a power play. Al McGinnis with the initial shot. And Joey Mullen is right there for the rebound. It's 2-0 Flames here. They won at 4-2, and they even the Stanley Cup Finals at 2 games apiece. In golf, the PGA stopped this week, the Colonial National in Fort Worth, where it was kind of warm. But the guy who was really hot down there this week was Ian Baker Finch, 28-year-old Australian, led from wire to wire in the tournament. This is his second shot at the 18th hole, and that ain't bad. Finch shot 70 today, even par. He got the birdie at 18, finished at 10 under for the tournament, 270. Ian Baker Finch, the first win on the PGA Tour for him, and wins $180,000. And Nancy Lopez won the 40th tournament of her career today, a 6 under par 66 in the final round of the LPGA Championship. This is her approach shot at 18, and this one's not too bad either. Lopez finished in grand style today with birdies on the final 2 holes. This putt wrapped up her 3rd LPGA championship in 12 years. Lopez beats Ayako Akamoto and wins $75,000 for her victory today. The lineup is set for this year's Indy 500. The field average of 216.588 miles an hour is the fastest in Indy history. And there was plenty of action on the NASCAR circuit this afternoon, too. Darrell Waltrip was leading the Winston with 1 lap to go. Rusty Wallace tapped him from behind on turn 4. Waltrip was finished for the race. And when Wallace got into the infield, a big fight broke out between his pit crew and Waltrip's pit crew, the good old boys down south today, with a good old-fashioned Southern Donnybrook in the pits after the victory for Rusty Wallace at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And that will just about do it for this week's edition of Instant Replay. Reminding you tomorrow night, the Cubs and the Astros, 7:30 from Houston on Channel 9, and a late edition of the 9 o'clock news to follow. And we'll see you again next week on Instant Replay.
Instant Replay was brought to you by the quality people with quality products. Your local Ford dealer.
In a red Ferrari. Magnum. Tonight at 10:30 on Channel 9.